Hello YouTube, this is Dr. Ronald W. Satz, founder and chair of the International Society of Unified Science and president of TransPower Corporation, a commercial and custom software manufacturing and certified systems engineering company. I work as a theoretical physicist and as a systems and mechanical engineer. In this screencast and in a few subsequent screencasts, I will be going over each layout of my optimal Economist software program. This is an implementation of Larsonian Econophysics. Drew B. Larson was my theoretical physics mentor, as most of you know by now, but he was also my theoretical economics mentor. What I've done with his theoretical physics is to make everything computational, and I've done the same thing with Dewey's theoretical economics. So I'm going to devote one screencast to each layout. Of course, unless it goes over 30 minutes. I like to keep these to 30 minutes or less. So presumably we can get each layout done in 30 minutes or less. Okay, so here it goes. This is the main menu. And you can see that we cover both microeconomics and macroeconomics. We cover the microeconomics of individuals and companies, and also business sectors. And in macroeconomics, we cover countries and regions. And then, of course, we have all the graphs: individuals, companies, business sectors, and macroeconomic graphs. If you click here, you can download my paper, Theory of Microeconomics and Macroeconomics, Larsonian Econophysics. In previous screencasts, I went over that paper in great detail. And so you can watch those from YouTube. You might want to go through those screencasts first before undertaking to go through today's screencast and the subsequent screencast of the Optimal Economist software program. This is a commercial program. TransPower Corporation originally priced it at $295, but frankly, because of the recession/depression we're in, due to the government shutdown, the coronavirus, etc. We've reduced the price all the way down to $95. It's a Dropbox link that we send you, so you get it practically immediately. You can order it either from Amazon or directly from transpowercorp.com. Okay, so let's just take a look here. We're going to cover microeconomics first, so let's go to individuals. We just click on that. And here's the screen. If you need help, you can click on the button here. And I'll just go there quickly. This just shows you general system requirements, installation, starting, initial activities, yearly activities, emergency recovery, and tech support. We provide free email tech support for all customers. And then there's more help. This shows you all the buttons, and then I give all the references here. Close out of this. At the top here, we have the various tabs. So if you click that, you get a new record with the blanks, no fields filled in. This is the form. This would be a table if you have multiple records. We just have one record, a test record in here now. This is the find button if you had to do a search. This is a sort button, print button, revert. If you make a mistake and revert, you press that, and of course you can delete the record here. If you've selected one record but now you want to show all the records, you click that button, and then you click close to go back to the main menu here. Okay, so the first field here is the customer account code, in this case Smith. Status is working. You can choose working or retired. Salutation, Dr., Mr., Mrs., Ms., whatever. First name, middle initial, Smith. You might imagine that you're an economist or an investment advisor working in the private sector, and you could have a record for each customer. Or this could just be you. Anyway, so this is a client info tab. This should be updated every year. Of course, I'm not doing that, but if you actually own this, you should. Now, here's an important note. Payments into or receipts out are at the end of each year, so keep that in mind. Again, payments into or receipts out are at the end of each year. That's so that the basic equations work out correctly. You would use this for retirement planning, this whole record here. So here's the billing address, the house number, the street, any second address line here, city, state, and zip, home and work numbers, and the email address. Okay, now we go into the various retirement scenarios. We give the birth date of this individual, which is in this case 01/01/1951, current age 69. Target retirement age is 74. His current total savings of $300,000, you put that in discount rate. Now this is a little subjective, frankly. I use 6.5%, which is 0.065. It's in decimal. Given these artificially low interest rates, you may have to set this lower, frankly. But in normal times, this would be a good discount rate to use. The time horizon is 5 years for this individual because he wants to retire at 74. Expected cumulative inflation factor over the time horizon, 1.06. Age of start of saving, 61. Maximum expected age is 76. All right. So here's the first scenario. The same savings amount each year. So he socks away $20,000 each year. So the resultant present value of savings at the retirement age would be $383,113.59. Now, why is that? Because he comes into you with $300,000, but he's saving another $20,000 past that. So the future value would be $524,898.82 at the expected age. Future value corrected for inflation, it would only be $495,187.56. So, this is the expected inflation factor. You got to play with that. Okay, now, scenario number 2, the same change in savings rate each year. So if we increase it 2%, and the first year is $20,000, then we get resultant present value of savings at the retirement age. 74 would be $386,290. Future value would be $520,250.83. Future value corrected for inflation, $499,293 and change. And then finally, we have scenario number 3, savings amount year by year. This would be the most exact, because most likely the investor, the person here is going to vary the amount. So in this case, he's putting in quite a bit. Of course, he could also there's a fixed input thing here. If you put in if you transfer these numbers from a spreadsheet, you have to fix this. If this is useful if you're copying and posting from a spreadsheet. You have to press that button. End polls. This is for advanced users only. The 4 is going to normally work. We use certain algorithm in here, and then you perform the calculation by clicking that. So then you get the projected savings from current age to retirement age year by year. So this is 8 years here. Okay. And you can see, the amounts. These are the projected savings then. And so the resultant present value of savings at the retirement age would be $396,679. The future value would be $899,460,468. Expected cumulative inflation factor over endpoints plus end futures. So that's over these past points plus the future number, the time horizon. It'd be 1.16. So future that corrected for inflation would be this number here, 775,400. And then you select the scenario choice. Personally, I would generally go with 3. But these other two are a little bit simpler. And then this shows the maximum annuity in retirement, how much you could take out every year. And you can see if the target retirement age is 74 and he's going to be dead by 76, well, so you could take out 494,641, but hopefully the person is going to last longer than that. Okay, so that takes care of this first layout. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to read the note here. I think it's pretty important. So this will be like a little review here. So the scenarios 1 and 2. The birthday of Mr. Smith is 01/01/1951, so his fiscal year corresponds to the calendar year. On 01/01/2017, he had accumulated total savings of $300,000, which he proceeds to invest for 1 year at an annual return of 6.5%. It's 0.065. At the end of the year, he adds $20,000 to the total, both for scenarios 1 or 2. So now for the next year, he invests $300,000 plus 1.065. I'm sorry, $300,000 times 1.065 plus $20,000, again with a return of 6.5%. That's that tricky discount rate. I would hope that we could get that. In fact, most pension funds require about 7%. Is what they need. So for scenario 1, at the end of the second year, he adds another $20,000. For scenario 2, he adds 1.02 times 20,000, or 20,400. Because remember, scenario 2, he's increasing this by 2% every year. Okay, so let's see, where am I? All right, this process continues until retirement age 74 is reached on 01/01/2025. At the end of his 73rd year, the maximum annuity or less is taken out, with the remainder earning 6.5%. He also takes out this amount at the end of the 74th year, and the money runs out at the end of the 75th year. On 01/01/2027, passes away at age 76. So not too long a life there. For scenario 3, Smith has annual savings records going back to age 61, when he finally started saving for retirement. These are entered into the column of the numbers given above, savings amount year by year. By clicking on the Perform Calc button, we obtain the projected future savings amount from the last actual amount up to the age of retirement. Of course, one can adjust these amounts as necessary. Then at the end of the last year of savings, the maximum annuity less is taken out, just as with the other scenarios. The algorithm, originally developed by Berg, it's B-U-R-G, used to project the savings amounts, becomes less accurate with a greater number of future periods, as can be seen above. By inspection, one can see that based on the past periods, the projected savings should actually be 46,000, 47,000, etc. But, it's pretty close, actually. Nonetheless, the algorithm is considered to be the best to use for economic projections, particularly for periodic or non-periodic oscillations. Of course, if you have information other than past values, you can modify the results of the algorithm. Also, you may have to discard outlier values. Okay, so that's it. And calculates the maximum annuity. If he's got cancer and he's going to die in a few years, you might as well live it up. Alright, well, that does it for today. That's the very first layout of Optimal Economist, retirement planning for individuals. I hope you enjoyed it. We provide free phone and email support for this program should you purchase it. And next week we'll go on to the next layout. So I'm just going to click here to close. And that's it for today.